go ahead and get started here with a question from Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, followed by Criso Saltis.
Coach, my apologies for the music. I don't know what's going on other than obviously you guys are winning. Wanted to ask, you had a game, San Antonio, where they had guys out and then didn't start off the way you wanted. How nice was it to see them have the same situation essentially and start the way the guys did tonight?
Yeah, I said it to the staff after the game. Like, those are tough games to play in emotionally when you're ramped up to play against the best team in the league, and they sit a few guys. Sometimes you can have an emotional letdown. We took care of business tonight. I think their starters plus Clarkson shot 8 for 29 from 3. That was a great sign for us, indicator for us, the urgency to run those guys off the line and contest shots and that kind of thing. But you're right, to be able to, keep your juice at a high level, your desperation, your sense of urgency at a high level tonight was huge for us.
Quick follow, you guys now share the top record in the NBA, and then obviously beating Jazz 3 out of 3. That good separation there. How do you view that? How do you view having that record and being at the top of the league?
Well, I mean, it's hard to put it into words right after the game, but I mean, you feel good about the way you're playing, the record, and now you want to, maintain what we're doing and increase it. Obviously, it's great for the city of Phoenix. It's great for our fans, great for the players, but I can't dwell on that. I'm of the mindset of, how can we get better? How can we, continue to play the way we're playing for the rest of this season and go into the playoffs with consistency in all levels of our program, all levels of the game. But make no mistake about it, I don't take it for granted. I'm grateful for the record. I'm grateful for the place that we have right now in the Western Conference.
Next up, we have Criso Saltis, followed by Kellen Olson.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the win. If you look back from the beginning of the season, from the off-season until now, what is the aspect of your team that you are most proud of? And how big confidence booster for you was that win tonight?
I mean, I'm proud of a lot of things with this group. One indicator or example is, after the game, DA was getting a test done, and we were trying to wait on him. And it was taking a minute, so we brought it in and, did our thing, and everybody kind of separated. And then he comes running down the hallway like, he was genuinely upset that we didn't wait on him. And everybody, had separated. And because, he felt that way, we all brought it back in, and we got everybody in the locker room, and we brought it back in again. And that's who this team is. We have a sense of family, togetherness, unity on this team, and it was marked by that moment. And it was pretty cool. We all kind of laughed about it, but that's the thing that you're really proud of, other than the record and the way we play, the opportunities in front of us, the camaraderie that we have on this team and in our program is pretty cool.
Next up, we have Kellen Olson, followed by Gina Mizell.
Hey, Monty, it feels like you guys really respond to physical games like this. And we saw DeAndre with his shoulder, a Book had a thing with his leg, Mikal had something with his ankle, and the guys just keep playing. What does it say about the toughness of the team you've seen throughout the season to play through those little nicks that the regular season always brings for guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I watch. I'm mindful of the bumps and bruises. But we have a tough group. I mean, our guys, they work really hard so they can play through those bumps and bruises and the soreness of the season, but they're tough-minded in a lot of ways, and they don't get enough credit for that. That's what it's going to take. Nobody's going to be fresh in May, in June, and July. You're going to have to will yourself through some tough games and video sessions and all that, while the rest of the league is, not playing. So it takes a lot of emotional stamina to be able to, get through those moments. But I mean, you saw examples of that tonight. I didn't know what was going on with DA. It looked like he had that same stinger again. And then a few minutes later, he was ready to come back in the game. And so that was pretty cool to watch.
Devin's had a handful of these first quarters where he scores 12, 15, 17 points, whatever it is. What do you see from the team in terms of the way they're able to vibe off that and flow off that and just see Devin get going like that early?
Yeah, I think it's, the team and the crowd as well. When he gets going like that, you can feel the energy in the building go to a different level. And what I liked about it in those moments, I felt like we were getting stops, and that allowed for him to, get some easier looks without having to go to a set offense. When he gets going like that, you just want to, put him in environments where he can do his thing. And then sometimes you just want to get out of the way and let he and Chris kind of orchestrate it.
Next up, we have Gina Mizell with Suns.com, followed by Kent Summers.
Hey, Monty, on that topic of, willing yourselves through games and just kind of having that mentality. I mean, the fact that you guys just got through this really tough 7-game stretch, 5-2, just what are you most pleased with as far as the development of this group through arguably your toughest stretch of the season?
Taking it with us, that even though it looks like we've gotten through this tough stretch, we got another game coming.
Sure.
And we have to have the same mindset going into OKC. That's been on my mind. As soon as we won this game tonight, I'm thinking to myself, like, how do we, translate this into the next game? It's pretty obvious that this, part of our schedule was pretty daunting. And at the same time, what we've talked about all year is being a team that's got to be consistent if we want to do what we know we can. And so that's where my mind is, taking what we've learned from these 7 games or so and continuing it on this road trip and doing everything we can to, play the right way, play with a great deal of force, defend the way we've been defending. And we just don't want to have any slippage at all just because we're not playing Utah or Brooklyn or, the Clippers, that we want to be able to be the same team no matter who we're going against.
All right, final question comes from Kent Summers with the Arizona Republic.
Yeah, Monty, with, coach's job is to always look ahead, as you said, but are you able ever to kind of stop yourself and put your feet up and enjoy where you are right now or what this team's done so far?
No, I don't, because it's just, I don't have that luxury. When you're the head coach, that's just not part of my job description. I have to continue to pound the rock. I got to continue to watch film. I have to continue to, look at areas of our program that can improve. I have to continue to have conversations with the staff about all of those areas and be really tough on myself about, decisions I'm making and things that I can do, we can do, so we can be a better team. I'm just not built that way. And I learned that from my mentor, Coach Pop. He taught me how to pound the rock and not be satisfied or let your guard down until you get, what you're after. And sounds boring, but that's just who I am.
Yeah, let's start to the game. You guys up at 25 in the first half. What was the key or keys to that, you feel?
Defending. I think that's the biggest thing. We just defended as a team. Once we got stops, just getting out and transition and just playing our way.
Quick follow. I hadn't seen the lobs from Chris to you much this year and saw it tonight. How much can that be utilized? You getting out in transition and him finding you for those plays?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a nice little 2 points for me. So I know he's gonna throw a great pass and just go there and go get it. But yeah, usually it's kind of kick ahead. But that time we had opportunity for that 2-on-1 to go get it, and he did the great thing for me.
All right, next up we have Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by David Brandt.
Sorry about that, Mikal. When Book has those types of first quarters where he scores 15 points or whatever it is, what does that do for you guys in terms of juice and just give you guys more momentum at the start of the game?
Me gets us going. You know, he's setting a tone offensively. Just knowing that he's hot, he's gonna keep going, and at the same time, he'll still find you. So, yeah, he gets us going, gets the crowd going for sure, and we just start amp up on the other end.
All right, next up we have David Brandt, followed by Gina Mizell.
Hey, Mikal, I know obviously you would have loved to have fans in the building every game all year, but has it been kind of cool how, as the season's gone on, more fans are allowed? You can feel the excitement kind of building, and it's kind of a reward for getting through the tough times because the fans were pretty into it these days. What have you seen?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm happy they're here. They get us going even more. You just hear after every shot, and I already feel like it's the playoffs, just how they're acting, just after every shot, after every stop. So I can't wait to see what they're going to be like, you know, in some weeks. So I'm excited and I'm happy they're here.
All right, next up we have Gina Mizell, followed by Christos Saltis.
Hey, Mikal, during the road trip that you guys just got off of, when there was kind of that period where maybe you were struggling with your shot a little bit, Monty was asked about it, and the thing he kept repeating over and over was the reps removed doubt mantra, just over and over. Is that something that goes through your mind too when maybe you do hit a tough spell to like, hey, I've put in the work, this is going to turn around, because then you obviously snapped out of it and, you know, had a heck of a shooting night tonight too.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I think everybody else, including you guys, probably worry more about like shooting slumps or something like that. I just think, you know, you miss. You know, I was hoping, felt good. You know, I'll get it next game. So I don't think a lot of players even think about it too much if they're struggling at coming into the next game. Like, oh, I'm struggling. So, just getting prepared. You miss some games, get ready for the next one, and you know, and make it happen. So.
What was the key to your shooting performance tonight? I think you made your first three. You had a couple kind of off the dribble, step back type. Just how good you feel tonight?
Felt good. Just being aggressive, just being confident. That's the biggest thing. Just letting the game come to me as well. Not really forcing shots. Never been a guy to do that. So I just, you know, just stay prepared, and my teammates help me and find me, and then just be prepared to shoot.
Next up we have Christos Saltis, followed by Barry Bloom.
Miguel, congratulations on the win. We showed you that you celebrate every bucket from the bench. So I would like to ask you, how big part of your success so far in the season are the chemistry and camaraderie as a team?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think that's half the reason why I want to make the shot, just so I could celebrate to them, to my teammates, man. I know they're going to get hyped up over there. So it shows how close we are. And I'm telling you, I make them shots just so I could look at them, give them a little signal, and get back on defense.
All right, Mikal, final two questions. Next, we have Barry Bloom, followed by Nick King.
Hey, how you doing? So 2 years ago, you guys won 19 games. Now you're tied for the best record in the league. Can you talk a little bit about that journey, you know, and how that came about in such a short period of time?
Just staying the course, just getting better every year. Obviously adding guys, getting Coach Monty, that helps as well. But just everybody that's been here, just staying the course, being ready, staying in the gym, not losing the sight. You know, losing can put you in a tough spot, but you know, as long as your mind and your head is clear, you'll be good. So that's what we did, and you know, we're in a great spot right now. We continue to keep going.
Our final question comes from Nick King.
Mikal, less than 10 regular season games remaining, and you guys now in the top spot in the West. How aware are you of that? How much discussion among the guys was there about that afterward?
Yeah, we know for sure, but you know, we're definitely grateful, but we're gonna keep working. We're gonna keep getting better, and get ready for the playoffs. Get ready for our next game. Take it game by game, and then be ready when the playoffs get here.
Hey, Book, when I asked Monty and Mikal about your big first quarters, they both mentioned the crowd. So what's it been like for you to have them back in the last couple of months and have that as an extra thing you guys can feed off of?
I don't know what the capacity number is, but I feel like it's going up and up every game. The energy's there. I mean, obviously the last two were big games for us, and you can feel it. I mean, starting the season off in empty arenas, it's a different vibe. It's a different energy. So to have fans back, it's definitely more enjoyable to watch, I'm sure. And while you're out there too, you get a lift.
When we talked to you on Wednesday, you said you were immediately thinking about this game when Wednesdays ended. How rewarding is it for you to see the team just completely lock in on this, not lose sight of it in 48 hours, and then come out the way you guys did?
Yeah, man, that's our team. That's each and one and every guy in here. Everybody wants to get better. Nobody's complacent. And I don't think we're slowing down. I think we can only get better with more experience. This is still our first year together with the group that we have here. So, we're still building to get better because we know we have a lot of things to clean up before, later in the season.
All right, next up, we have Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic. He'll be followed by Nick King.
You're talking about the attendance here. It was 6,000 tonight. It's supposed to be 550 plus, so that plus is.
Yeah, yeah. Felt like 9 or 10 in there. I'm cool with it though. Get them in there.
I wanted to ask about your shin. Is that good? I know you played through the second half, but I didn't know if that was bothering you in the second half at all.
Yeah, it was just shin to shin. Bad play by me by running into him and fouling Joe, but he's okay. I'm okay, and it's fine.
Quick follow on the sideline. You hit the shot over Gobert. I didn't know if Mikal and DeAndre gonna let you get back down the court because they were holding you up. What's that been like, having those moments with guys and it's flowing and teams playing well, and then something like that happens during that stretch?
Yeah, I mean, that's just having fun with it, man. This group is so supportive, top to bottom. I've played for not many different teams, but many different situations with different players. And, you look around the league at some teams, and not everybody has a vibe like this or energy like this throughout. I always say, it's a great environment to get better in when, you have everybody supporting you, everybody being honest with you. And those are the same people that can, give me constructive criticism at any part of the game, and I'm listening to them. So, that's the name of our group, man. We're just trying to get better and supporting each other along with it.
And next up, we have Nick King, followed by Gina Mizell.
Devin, I know a lot's been made about the team struggles your first handful of years in the league, that you guys are now not just going to the playoffs, but the top seed in the West. Does it ever get unreal for you?
I always say I don't want to take it for granted. I mean, I know what it took to get here. I know how hard it is to win in this league at any level, just one game. So that says a lot about our group, just staying the course throughout the season. I mean, we've had ups, we've had downs, and, we continue to get better and grow through it all. So every loss that we've had, we've responded well and learned from it. And that's the tale of the season for us. Even when you take a loss, how do you respond and how do you learn from it? And, I feel like we've gotten better after every loss that we've had.
All right, next up, we have Gina Mizell with Suns.com, followed by Kent Summers.
Hey, Book, to kind of go back to the topic of the bench celebrations and the group that you guys have, just how have you been able to create, it just feels like you have this great balance as a group where it is that environment to get better, and like you said, the competitiveness, but also just the joy and enjoying being around each other. How'd you go about creating that, especially given the strange circumstances of this season as well?
I mean, not one person create that, that's everybody buying in. It's everybody trusting each other, and it just happens over time. Having great leaders, great ears, great listeners, great talkers, understanding people's personalities, understanding when to give somebody space, understanding how to approach different type of people different ways. So, it all goes into leadership, and not just from me, not from Chris, all the way down the locker room through the coaching staff. through the training staff. So once you have everybody bought in like that, you know, if you're not bought in, you know, you look like the outcast, and, you know, there's not one of those in this group.
We have time for 2 final questions. Next up, we have Kent Summers with the Arizona Republic, followed by Criso Saltis.
That first half when Chris is out, he's on the baseline, crouched, coaching and watching, even when the ball's at the other end. One, do you see yourself doing that at age 35? And what does that mean to a team when a guy with his experience is willing to do that and wants to do that?
I don't know. I'm trying to get 35 one, but I mean, that's Chris Paul, man. You know, it's no flugazi when you hear point guard and you hear one of the greatest leaders to play this game. That all stemmed from, you know, wanting to be the best. You know, you can see he's on the pursuit of that every single day, and it's contagious and it's inspiring at the same time, especially growing up watching him and always having a respect for, you know, his competitive nature and how he approached the game. But, you know, he's always teaching, and at the same time, you can come to him with something, he's listening. You know, so that's the good thing about it. But, you know, he's always going to be in your ear. He's always going to give you some great advice, and, you know, with the thoughts of trying to better this team, and, you know, everybody's on the same page with that.
All right, Book, our final question comes from Criso Saltis.
Hey, Devin, congratulations on the win and the performance as well. What is the aspect of your game, of your team, that you are most proud of so far in the season? And with wins like this, with games like this, do you feel that you are the best team in the NBA, or at least a championship caliber team?
My favorite part about this team is what I talked about earlier, you know, responding after losses. It's had some tough games this year that we've dropped, and, you know, we always find a way to regroup and keep the energy the same, not getting too high, not getting too low, not having the front runner mentality of, you know, being excited when we have it going, and, you know, when we take a loss, we're down. You know, we come in with the right mentality the next day of getting better, and then that's what we've been doing.